After years of alleged cover-ups, Biden's team could soon face accountability for concealing concerns about his cognitive health from day one. A recent investigation by the Wall Street Journal suggests that President Biden has been grappling with signs of senility since the beginning of his presidency back in January of 2021. The new report reveals that his team was aware of these issues, going so far as to hire a vocal coach, delegate others to attend meetings on his behalf, cancel meetings when he was having a bad day, and even restrict the president from interacting with his own chosen cabinet members. You guys, I have been saying since 2020, this guy had dementia, and now it's coming out on the Daily Mail. It's coming out in the New York Times and other publications that the sitting president of the United States of America has not been running the country, that he has in fact been dealing with dementia, and that all of the evil criminals around him have been covering up this fact to the American people, to Democrat leadership, and even his own cabinet members. But I called it. I have been saying it for over 4 years. Now, I 100% think that they knew about this mental decline. Presidents are thoroughly evaluated for such issues, so it's hard to believe that they didn't know. I mean, they also sat in meetings with him day after day after day, and I could see it. I could see it in his press conferences in the first year. I told my wife, this looks like a grown-up toddler. This guy cannot speak. He cannot hold a thought in his head. It's crazy. I mean, even Hollywood actor George Clooney could tell after meeting this guy for just 5 minutes, something's not right. This guy is not well in the head. He is a puppet, and I cannot endorse him going forward. That's why they wrote the hit piece. All right, now, I'm down working at the American Fest political rally. It's the first time I've ever been to a political rally, and I wanted to share part of Charlie Kirk's speech with you guys because it was so powerful. I wish I had the Donald Trump entrance, but I'll try to film him when I see him on Sunday. I'm going to be with the president on Sunday, as well as Roger Stone, Officer Tatum, Charlie Kirk, other big names. So let me go ahead and roll that for you.
January 7th of 2021, they said the MAGA movement was dead. They said that Donald Trump will never have a political future. Joe Biden was coming in and putting people in prison for going into the Capitol Rotunda and praying. Joe Biden was mandating the vaccine, keeping the border completely and totally wide open. We were seeing our country disappear and vanish from us. But here's where you come in. For every single one of you in this audience that never wavered, that always had the president's back, that continued to support him, you guys are the beginning portion of the greatest political comeback in American history. Look at what we were up against, because it defies any sort of human reason. From the lawfare, they try to put Donald Trump in prison for 700 years. Every major tech company banned Donald Trump from their platform. Donald Trump was banned from Facebook. He was banned from Google. He was banned from Pinterest because he's like a big Pinterest guy. He was banned from Spotify. He couldn't even listen to Phantom of the Opera. They did everything they could to make him disappear, but there was a problem. Is that you could put Donald Trump in exile at Mar-a-Lago, but you can't make 75, 80 million people disappear. Is that they could make him as if, okay, we're gonna try to solve this problem. But what are you gonna do with the people of this country? And that's where all of you that continue to do the work, you entered. We entered front stage, and it was difficult. We were told that this was never going to happen, that the Democrat Party was immovable. For all of you on campuses that continue to fight for conservative causes, that were graded differently, kicked out of class, that were smeared, that were slandered, it was as if there was no immediate hope, but you guys had faith. And faith, not just that we could take back our country. And if we are honest with ourselves, we cannot take credit for what happened on November 5th. The person, or more importantly, who deserves credit is God Almighty for saving this country.
All right, wasn't that amazing? He brought up so many incredible points. The whole day, the whole speech has been so amazing. Now, as Trump's inauguration nears, he has increased pressure on those close to him as Democrats make a last-ditch effort to ensure their desires are met with the continuing resolution. In response, President Trump warned House Speaker Mike Johnson that a show of weakness could mean the end of his term. And let me tell you, down here at AmFest, they have already trash-talked Mike Johnson multiple times, and he's supposed to be one of the big speakers tomorrow. My guess is he doesn't come or he gets booed into oblivion. Now, President Trump demanded he act decisively and tough to counter the traps that have been set in the CR by Democrats in negotiating the latest government funding deal. During a Fox News interview today, President Trump stated, anybody that supports a bill that doesn't take care of the Democrat quicksand known as the debt ceiling should be primaried and disposed of quickly as quickly as possible. Now, let me tell you, at the political rally today, one of the number one things that I have heard is America first. And if you aren't America first, they're going to put the entire Republican machine behind primarying you, which means they drop all support for you and all money, and they tell all money and all donors to focus on your competitor. So that is coming for anybody that doesn't confirm Pete Hegseth, that doesn't confirm Kash Patel, that doesn't confirm Tulsi Gabbard. They will come for you. So it was really amazing. I mean, the Republican Party is working in unity right now like I've never seen before. And anyone who's disjointed or out of step or refuses or is bought by a donor or a lobbyist, boom, you're going to be kicked out immediately. Now, with the holiday season approaching, Democrats are trying to squeeze as much pork into this bill as possible. And honestly, if it wasn't for Vivek, Elon Musk, and President Donald J. Trump, they would have got away with it. They added an extra $300 billion. And I'm talking about crazy, crazy stuff. For example, paying for the tuition of gay people in other countries, experiments in 12 biolabs, a giant raise for members of Congress, even though they work less than most of us. Like, something is not right. And Vivek, Elon, and Donald Trump called them to the carpet, and they whittled this thing down from like 1,500 pages to I think 116 pages, something like that. By the way, thank you guys so much for liking and sharing these videos. It helps me so much because when you hit like, it tells YouTube and Rumble to share this with others. So thank you guys for doing that. But of course, Trump's reasonable response was met with harsh feedback from Democrat leadership. For instance, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, known as Timu Obama, stated House Republicans have been ordered to shut down the government and order the working class Americans they claim to support. You break the bipartisan agreement, you own the consequences that follow. The reality is Democrats are shutting this down because what they're doing is they're crying in the corner and sucking their thumbs saying, the Republicans are shutting it down because we didn't get everything we want in that bill. We didn't get a pay raise. We didn't get opted out of Obamacare. We didn't get tuition for gays in Pakistan and other crazy stuff like that. Now, thankfully, free speech advocate and Doge head Elon Musk broke down the 1,500-page bill included to show why it shouldn't pass. And Vivek Ramaswamy was crucial in this as well. But Elon Musk's reach is what really spread this to over 40 million Americans nationwide. Elon Musk called the bill criminal by pointing out that it would suppress free speech, allow pandemic mandates to continue, a 40% increase for Congress. Did you get a 40% raise? I know I didn't. And funding of other crazy things like 12 bioweapon labs. Now, thankfully, Both Trump and House Speaker Mike Johnson were able to get on the same page, and the bill was shut down. However, they also agreed to offer their joint support for a new bill. President Trump stated, Speaker Mike Johnson and the House have come to a very good deal for the American people. The newly agreed American Relief Act of 2024 will keep the government open, fund our great farmers and others, and provide relief for those severely impacted by the devastating hurricane. The date of the very unnecessary debt ceiling will be pushed out 2 years to January 30th, 2027. All Republicans and even the Democrats should do what is best for the country and vote yes for this bill. Now, unfortunately, after criticizing Trump for allowing a government shutdown, Democrats united to block the bill from passing. So this is just typical Democrats. They want all of their pork inside of the bill, and even Republicans. You guys, Republicans are not innocent. They have blood on their hands. They want pay raises. They want all of this pork pet projects. They want money for their lobbyists. They want money for all of this crazy LGBTQ2SA+, foreign spending, military war. They wanted even more money for Ukraine after saying, why are we so worried about Ukraine's border? Let's worry about America's border. And then what do? They slip billions and billions and billions of dollars, not to helping the people in North Carolina or Hawaii, but the people of Ukraine. Now, Trump's bill was much slimmer than Jeffrey's bill, but would still include $110 billion in disaster relief while keeping the American government open. In response to their rejection, Elon Musk stated, "Shame on Representative Jeffries for rejecting a fair and simple spending bill that is desperately needed by states suffering from hurricane damage." Now, the Democrats tried to pull out money for emergency response, but they put in money for people to get their college tuition paid for in other countries. These Democrats are so stupid. It makes me crazy. Now, I want you guys to be careful. Here's the narrative that's going on right now. That lighting is kind of, there we go. Maybe that's better. Sorry about that. The new narrative from the mainstream media is that there's bad blood between Elon Musk and Donald Trump, that these two behind the scenes are butting heads, that they are fighting. That is absolutely not true. Elon Musk, he's going to assert his influence. He's going to put pressure on the American government, but he knows that Trump is president. And President Trump isn't intimidated by Elon Musk because he tasked Elon Musk with this very stuff, calling out the government, pointing out corruption, bringing the American people's attention to the pork inside of government spending. So there's no bad blood between the two. Literally, this is the job that Trump that gave to Elon Musk. And Elon Musk is going to go out and assert pressure exactly like he is supposed to. And same thing with Vivek. There's no bad blood between Vivek and Elon. They are working like a well-oiled machine to hold Washington, D.C. accountable. In fact, let me roll a clip from Steve Bannon over at the War Room.
CR ban, you're going to have to fight it. So we hate CRs. Now, the only reason we even agreed to this at all, to think about it, and we wanted a two-liner, was because President Trump takes over in January, and we want Russ Vought and Scott Besson and Peter Navarro and Hassett and all of his economic team and President Trump to have them do, and then he brings in Vivek and he brings in Elon and the team of the Doge guys. He brings those guys in, and we start doing, deconstruct the administrative state, start to take this thing apart brick by brick. And so that's why we do it. Now, that alone, and we don't love that because remember that the spending stays the same and we want to cut spending. So that alone is about $500 billion, okay? $500 billion. Johnson did a deal that added $300 billion on top of that, right? Almost all Democrat programs, besides a little bit for the farmers and some money for FEMA. And I'm not so sure the FEMA money, it's $100 billion. I'm not so sure FEMA doesn't have money right now. I have no idea what's going on over there because you can't trust anything Biden's doing, right?
Are you feeling it? The dollar's buying power has pummeled, down 26% since Biden took office. Prices are skyrocketing, inflation is out of control, and every dollar buys less. But you know what is up? Gold and silver. Now, I want you to think long-term for a second. Would you bet on the US dollar or gold being worth more in 10 or 20 years? History proves gold and silver will win every time. Here's how you protect your wealth. At Colonial Metals Group, their expert team is here to guide you. Whether you're just starting, already have a 401k or IRA, or plan to safeguard your family's nest egg, you can do that with gold and silver. And they have an exclusive offer for you. Click the link or call our special 800 number today, and you could receive a safe and up to $7,500 in free silver. Don't wait. Protect your financial future now with Colonial Metals Group Gold and Silver. Check out the 800-807-2143 phone number or go to colonialmetalsgroup.com/Gardner. All right, now wasn't that crazy? You guys, going forward, the government, these politicians, they're not going to be able to do anything in the darkness of night. They now are empowered. They feel like they have somebody with strength backing them. They've got Vivek, they've got Elon, they've got President Trump, they've got Charlie Kirk. They've got so many people backing this. And you know what? The Senate, even members of the Senate that have surprised me in the past, they were saying, Speaker Johnson, clean this bill up or we'll block it in the Senate and we can all stay here through Christmas. So finally, Republicans are living up to their values, which is smaller government, smaller budgets, living within our means. So anyway, I'm just so excited for the next couple of years because it's going to be like this every single time. Evil flourishes in darkness. The best thing you can do is throw some bleach on it or throw some sunlight on it. Right now, we're focusing on the sunlight, right? As soon as this stuff gets exposed, these politicians wither. Yeah, I tried to slip in $15 million for gay people in another country to go to college. I guess we could keep that out. How about $15 million of money for gay people wanting to go to college in America? Like, come on. It's just like, it has to be America first, right? And that's what you're going to see. You're going to see America put first because you're going to see people like Steve Bannon calling Republicans to the carpet. You're going to see people like Brigitte Gabriel, who I just had on. We're going to work in concert as a body of one in order to apply pressure to these politicians. President Trump, Elon Musk, they're all going to assert pressure. This is not the era of Mitch McConnell anymore. We got to get Mitch out. And if John Thune wants to behave like Mitch McConnell, you're gone too, right? Now it's time for MAGA to run the government. It's time for the adults to be back in the room. All right, now this is incredible. In other big news, the Georgia Court of Appeals has officially disqualified District Attorney Fani Willis from prosecuting the 2020 election interference case against Donald J. Trump. In a 2-1 decision, a 3-judge panel in Georgia appellate court denied a motion to dismiss the case entirely, but approved the removal of Willis and her team. Now, here's what's amazing. They're saying, Willis, you are not qualified to run this investigation. You've taken money. You've slept with your coworkers. You lied about it. You then lied under oath. You committed fraud. You broke the bar rules. Like, I could go on and on. But all of those real rules, boom, you are out. Now, why they haven't dropped the case is crazy to me for 2 reasons. Number one, President Trump won the election. He's going to become the 47th president of the United States. And number 2, hello, how many times do I have to cover this? 500,000 missing ballots that were either deleted or never existed. And yet they're going to go after the president of the United States when 500,000 articles of evidence are missing? Come on, this is a scam. Everybody knows there was a scam in Arizona. There was a scam in Georgia. There was likely a scam all over the place. But those are the big two where evidence has come out. There was absolutely shenanigans in the election. All right, now Judge Trenton Brown and other jurists explain, while we recognize that an appearance of impropriety is generally not enough to support disqualification, this is the rare case in which disqualification is mandated, and no other remedy will suffice to restore public confidence in the integrity of these proceedings. The ruling pointed to Fani Willis's questionable conduct, including hiring and overpaying her lover, Nate Wade, as a special prosecutor and taking luxury trips with him while managing Trump's case. Also, the fact that they were having secret meetings with White House counsel, the fact that they were having secret meetings with Kamala Harris, the fact that Nate Wade made almost $1 million from his lover, Fani Willis. Come on. This case has to be thrown out. But I'm just so grateful that Fani Willis, kick to the curb, baby. All right, as rumors continue to swirl that there's a missing nuclear weapon somewhere in New England, radiation levels in New York are mysteriously on the rise. This is not good. Maybe some of the conspiracy theory about these sniffing drones is true. For those unaware, they say that these scouting drones up in New Jersey are looking for radioactive material or a missing nuclear warhead. I don't know the truth. I'm just telling you guys what's in the news. It seems to be going back and forth, but it's not good when the radiation levels are rising. Now, typically background radiation levels in the New York area range between 5 to 60 counts per minute. Right now, in the Upper West Side of New York, they're at 175. So that's a lot. That's a huge jump, right? The human body does not do well in the presence of radiation. However, not everyone is aligned on the origin of a possible nuclear weapon missing. Lawyer Gordon Chang, who I've had on my show, told reporters, U.S. officials have been worried about the North Koreans taking apart a nuclear device, smuggling parts into the United States, and reassembling them in the locations of their choice. When you talk about radiation, clearly this could be one of the things that the drones are doing, and that would explain why they're over residential areas, because that device could be planted in any one of those places. Hello. So we've got one side of the aisle making a lot of sense that these drones are not looking for radioactive material. We also have a bunch of expert witnesses saying, oh, they're definitely looking for something. So I don't know what the truth is, but it's really, really crazy. All right, now to end, I want to just roll a couple more clips that I thought were so powerful. I mean, yesterday, I got to listen to Ben Shapiro in person. I got to listen to Dr. Ben Carson in person. I got to listen to Charlie Kirk in person. I got to listen to Don Jr. in person, Tucker Carlson in person, on and on and on. Today's full of even more incredible people. But let me roll two clips for you that I think are really, really important. One of them talks about how they are going to go through the post-election results, and wherever Democrats were weakest, that's where they're going to focus their strength to attack Republican voters. For example, if they feel like social media was the area where Trump gained the most ground, they're going to do a pressure campaign on Mark Zuckerberg and others to try to manipulate and influence social media. That's just one example. Let me go ahead and roll that.
Because we're all about shutting the government down. You know why? What was it back? Remember all the really intellectuals, all over Heritage? Big government. We need limited government, right? And then with the Tea Party, it was more like no government, right? And now, what did MAGA realize? That the government, the deep state, the administrative, they suck and they're the enemy. And that's the difference. And what you're seeing going on behind me right now, these evil, evil people in a building that you pay for with your taxpayer. Boo, can we boo for this one? I love my job. That lady wants to dictate how you live. I wouldn't let her near my kids if I had kids. And they now want to jam down your throat pandemic guidelines that make it so they can have vaccine passports and But here's the most ridiculous thing. Remember, here in the war room, we have been gaming out, much like the left does in their war games, right? Disease X, which always, I don't know, somehow seemed to come true, right? But wargaming out how the left was going to triage their loss in 2024 because it would dictate, right, how they respond to it. So if they viewed misinformation as the vertical that they needed to respond to, then they doubled down on the censorship programs. If they thought, oh, well, the public health, we need climate change lockdowns, we need to rig the election again with a COVID type, bio warfare, then they're gonna double down on the pandemic stuff. Now, I don't know about you guys, but have you heard about a little thing called bird flu lately? I believe California just entered, believe it or not, a state of emergency over bird flu. 3 cases? And believe it or not, the New York Times had an article just last week that a bird flu pandemic would be the most foreseeable catastrophe in history. MIT Technology Review had a big piece talking about how bird flu pandemics were going to materialize. And then, of course, Bloomberg had to jump in and say, well, pandemics can't actually be caused by lab leaks. And that, my friends, is what we call a limited hangout. But why?
All right, pretty incredible stuff. I'm going to be getting video footage, more photos for you guys. I wish some of you were there today. I've had so many of you walk up to me and say, hey, Stephen Gardner, I watch your show. I've also got to meet some of the people that I look up to, like Larry Elder, the J6 Shaman, others that were here. And it's just been an incredible day. Anyway, I love you guys. I hope you have an incredible day. Please give this video a like. Hit that subscribe button. Check out Colonial Metals Group. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next video. Stay amazing.